Wait for recording.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the utility meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call. Everyone is present except Chase. We'd like to have the invocation, pledge of allegiance. We have Mr. Corey to lead us to the invocation, and we'll have the public comment period. The number is 225-621-8636, and the entry participation code is 939496.
Are you ready for me to go, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, please prepare yourselves for prayer. Lord, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for this opportunity to serve our neighbors, just as your son came down to earth to serve rather than to be served. Lord, as we move forward in this meeting this evening, please allow us to remember that it's okay to agree to disagree, and that we shall continue forth in your name. And Lord, all those who are celebrating birthdays today, please keep them close to your heart. And all those who are suffering with losses of loved ones this day, please keep them close to your heart. In the name of your son, I pray, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Orgeron.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the
United States of America, and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Orgeron, for that prayer.
Thank you for the opportunity, Coach.
Yes, sir. Chairman addition, there's none. The public comment report, is there any? I'd like to have Ms. Cinnamon read the agenda item. Cinnamon?
Approval of June 10th, 2021 Utilities Committee meeting minutes. Approval of April 8th, 2021 corrected Utilities Committee minutes. Approval of extension of general engineering contract with GSA McKim Creed for 1 year. Approval of municipal water pollution prevention, Hillaryville wastewater treatment plant report. Approval of municipal water pollution prevention, Silver Oaks wastewater treatment plant report. Approval of change order number 6 for CDBG project, extension of contract for 83 days and increases amount of $37,254.42. Approval to renew contract with Curtis Environmental Services, Inc. for a not to exceed amount of $70,000 for sampling, testing, and reporting for LPDES permit compliance of all Ascension Consolidated Utilities District Number 2 sanitary facilities owned by Ascension Parish.
Thank you, Cinnamon. This time, are there any public comments?
We have to wait the 10 minutes, Coach.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, let us look at the NWI. We have Mr. Paul to come to us and explain to us the NWI report. There you go.
Hello. All right. I've been in several meetings with NWI, negotiating or just trying to figure out what we need to do going forward. There's a lot of Larry Buqua's office is trying to figure out where all the assets are, and that we've got proper title to all the assets, and we're identifying those. There's been some hiccups and some things that we're trying to figure out there, and so we're looking at all that. We're also trying to figure out what to do with the as far as NWI taking over operation of sewer while we figure this process out. And so there's three main things that are going on. First of all is the permits have to be turned over to NWI. That's got to go through a permitting process with the state, and that's probably going to take a year. We're talking about deadlines at the last meeting, and we're looking at probably September of next year before all the permits are taken over, at which point we could finalize the sale. So that's thing one. Thing two is figuring out title so that we can actually close on the 9.2 million and for the purchase of the assets. And that's going on right now with Larry Buqua's office. And then number three is trying to work out a cooperative endeavor agreement whereby NWI takes over operation of the sewer department. And so there were some issues with legalities of whether we can pay employees and they are under the control of another entity. And I did a legal opinion on that, which I probably need to share with some of you guys and see if where we can go from there, which I will do. And so that's kind of where we are. We're trying to figure all of that out, and we've been in meetings, and we're working on a proposed CEA on operation that we're going to try and get to you guys. So that's the latest. See you shaking your head there, Mr. Orgeron.
Mr. Orgeron? Go ahead.
I'm just perplexed. Last August, all of these concerns, all of these obstacles were brought forward, and they were placed. These are the problems we're going to have. These are the issues we're going to have. Let's go with a certain deal and let's bring it to the public for a vote. And now we're a year later and we're in the same spot we were way back then, except that the public voted and with an encouraging vote telling us they want us to get out of the sewer business. I'm not sure why this administration is dragging its feet. I'm not sure why all of this wasn't getting done between August and the vote back in April, but we need to move forward. We need to move faster because it seems like we're still spending money on sewer, and I'm pretty sure the public was of the impression that we were not going to be spending any money any further. And so I'm disappointed to hear that we're now 4 months post-election and we're still stuck in the past, still being a sewer company, and we shouldn't be, because we ran it horribly for 20 years and it looks like we're still running it into the dirt. So those are my thoughts. I think we need to move forward, and I think we need to move faster. If I can help, I'm willing to help. I told the administration before, don't box me out. I'm here to help on this deal. I've got experience in it. I can help everyone with it. But if you guys want to keep me in the dark, that's perfectly fine. Keep me in the dark and keep dragging our feet. Those are my disappointing words for today. But Joe Paul, I'm not putting it at you because I know that you are new on it and you're working on trying to get this thing done. I'm just very disappointed in the previous actions of this administration.
So we have representatives from kind of the entities that are in the meetings, and so Terry Casso was kind of a representative, I guess, of the council that was in some of the initial meetings, and then John Diaz, and he had another appointment where he couldn't update you tonight. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the opinion that I did on legal, and we're going to be working on a cooperative endeavor agreement as far as operation during this transition. My understanding is what the state requires as far as permits and their time frames and what has to go before them, we don't have a lot of control over. And so and then identifying the assets is with the law firm that we've hired for that. And so those two things we really don't have a lot of control over. What we do have a control over is the operation. And I think I've cleared a legal hurdle on that. And so we can get started on that right away. We're supposed to have another meeting tomorrow. I think we're going to bump that meeting so that we can go ahead and draft the CEA for operation to go over to NWI. And if we can do that, I think that's gonna it's gonna move things in the direction that you want, which is NWI is running things, and we're not. Right. And
again, take a look at the previous CEAs. Those are going to be a good starting points for you. The ones that we brought to the table last summer, those will be really good starting points to get the operations going. But I guess what I'm saying is, we foresaw that as an issue. That's why entering into the CEA last summer, pending the election and the vote by the people to sell it, would have been the better option, because we'd be 1 year ahead of the game right now. And because we did it the opposite way, we're stuck hoping that in a year from now, we'll be fully out of the business. Again, that's not on you, my friend. That's just on decisions that were made in the past. And it's frustrating for me to realize that, the administration made these decisions and without anticipating the future. But those are my words. Thanks, John Paul, for your report. And anything you want to send to me, brother, I'm more than willing to look at it, and I'm more than willing to work with you on getting it done. So thanks.
Very good. Okay, thanks.
Mr. Wagensback.
Nope, come back, Jean Paul.
I'm back.
Hey man, and this may not be a question for you, this may be for the administration, but I guess one thing that I thought was one of the major hurdles through all this was the Public Service Commission approving the sale price and approving the value of the assets. Was that talked about at all in the meeting? I kind of thought that would be one of the things that had to happen before we actually
that has to happen, because what the rate structure that NWI can charge is based on what the Public Service Commission states, and they have to value the assets for the sale, and it has to get approved by Public Service Commission. And my understanding was, back to Mr. Orgeron's point, is that we could not enter a CEA until the vote had happened. And so now that and that's just and again, I wasn't there, but my understanding is we have to get the Public Service Commission to sign off on all this so that NWI is covered on what their rate structure is. And so, the dominoes have to fall in the order that they have to fall. And so the vote was first. Now we're working on getting the assets identified, going before the Public Service Commission. And in the interim, we're going to try now I think we're in a position to turn operations over to NWI, and that's what I'm working on now.
Yeah. So did they update when the Public Service Commission might rule on that, or what that timeline looks like?
That's what we got last time, and that timeline looks like September, which is everybody.
That was the September. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, you said the permits were September. I figured that was like DEQ permits to take over the assets. But
yes. Yeah. Our total target for being done is.
I got you.
And that's padding with there being problems. We could probably get it done in 9 months, but it's, to be on the safe side, is looking like September.
Okay, thanks. I didn't understand that part of it. I appreciate the clarification. That's all I have, Coach.
Thank you, Dal. Is there anyone else in comments? I'd just like to comment on communicating on the certain things that we're dealing with the NWI, and I know this is a little bit down the road with the water company that we're dealing with. Also, a little better communication going on with the administration and with the councilman, and allowing them to know what's going on and update on just what's going on, and keeping everybody posted. so they don't get off in the left field. So
again, we had Terry Casso in meetings, and she's been invited to all those meetings. So
we'd like to have some update, not just myself, but the other councilmen would also like to know what's going on moving forward into the situation and the situation that's coming up with the West Ascension water. I'm not sure whether you're dealing with it or whoever it is, but I'm not going to get off into that. But again, we'd just like to know what's going on and what's the meetings about and just what's the intentions. So other than that, is there anybody else with anything else to say? Cinnamon is, how many minutes we have? Public comment.
It's over. Coach, would you have one call? Miss Megan Tossan would like to speak on the director's report.
Okay. Megan Tossan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We sure can, Ms. Tossan. You're owned and...
Hi, my name is Megan Tossan, and I'm a resident of Ascension.
Yes.
And I just wanted to make a comment on the sewer deal. Just my disappointment that everyone's been aware that these permits take a year, and we've now waited to this point. And when we voted for the sale of our sewer assets, the citizens weren't made aware. We didn't know that we would have the obligation like we expected the administration and, count everyone involved to have all this ready in time to sell, and also the legality of our parish or city workers working for a private entity sewer company. I just worry about the issues with that. So I just wanted to put that on the record because I feel like that wasn't a transparent to the citizens, and it seems like the ball was dropped along the lines.
Thank you, Ms. Tossan. Is there anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in, ma'am.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Have a good evening. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you. Is that it, Cinnamon?
That's all.
Okay. All right. We'll start director's report. We have none. I should say, Mr. The chairman, Chase Malonzo, he's out, and obviously he had got sick, and we'll move on. The approval of the minutes. Yes.
Gavin has a director's report.
Yeah, I have a director's report. Go over some of the stuff to give y'all a couple of updates items.
I'm sorry, Mr. Fleming. I overlooked it. Director's report, Mr. Galvin Fleming. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. We just wanted to give a couple updates on a few of our items. As you know, COVID's affecting a lot of people right now, and we're having some issues with staffing. So I wanted to publicly let everybody know that for meter reading, routes 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, this month, they will have an estimated bill. It'll be based on a 6-month average. We are being proactive on any accounts that have a higher and or zero reading for the month. We are going to get those meters read and investigated. Routes 61, 62, 70, and 81 are going to be actual readings. We're able to get those so that way we can get them out on time. We are hoping that routes 82, 90, 100, 111, and 112 are also going to be normal reads. We are actively working on solutions with some outside vendors to try to remedy this issue. So we hopefully won't have it again. I wanted to, as far as the 219 program goes, I got an update from them yesterday. That project is now requiring a full environmental assessment, which is going to have a targeted completion date of November 2021, and they are projecting a eventual award of the project in February of 2022. I know I mentioned to you earlier about I was going to present a water loss report. That is, when we were putting that together, we had a lightning strike in the month of May that threw our numbers off. Our system, based on our calculations, we had an odd number in there, and we did not feel like the president that was going to be willing to present, but I wanted to let you know why we're not presenting it. That concludes my director's report.
All right, Gavin, does anyone have any questions? Any comments? I'd just like to make a comment that things need to, again, be transparent and allowing us, as you come today, and reporting some of the stuff. I go back to my constituents calling and want to know what's going on with the inconsistent water bills, and I'm needing answers. I like to be able to answer my constituents and allowing them to know what's going on, and being able to give them a clear and effective answer that they would be satisfied with, and correcting the problem that we need to correct. But again, this pretty much is going a little bit too long. But again, we need to work out the situation and get it fixed and get it done. So with that said, we'll move on to number 6. With the approval of the minutes. A, approval of June 10th, 2021 Utility Committee meeting minutes.
Motion.
A motion by Mr. Orgeron.
Second.
Second by Mr. Dow. Mr. Waggerspack. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion passed. Minutes passed. Number B, we'll have approval of April 8th, 2021 corrected utility committee minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Orgeron, second by Mr. Waggerspack. Any discussion? Any objection? No objection, motion passed. Moving right along to the general business. We have the approval of the extension of general engineering contract with GSA McKim Creed for 1 year. Calvin Fleming, Utilities.
Sorry. Yes, sir. So this is basically, we went out for an RFP back in 2018, and we are working with GSA, currently McKim Creed, for water plant work. We're working with them on both the 219 program and the state funds that are coming down. We need to extend, we're asking that y'all extend their contract for a year. There's no increase in money. Their current contract, they still have roughly $700,000 remaining for us to use for design and services for the water system.
Is there a motion?
No motion.
The motion by Dow. Is there a second? It's no second. The motion failed by not having a second. We'll move right along to B. Approval of Municipality Water Pollution Prevention, MWPP, Hillaryville, WWTP, report, Galvin Fleming, Utilities.
Okay,
Motion.
This is
It's a motion by Mr. Orgeron,
Second.
second by Mr. Dow. Any objection? Any discussion? This motion passed. Let's move on to C. Approval of Municipality Water Pollution Prevention, MWPP, Silver Oaks, MWTP.
Motion.
Galvin Fleming. Motion by Mr. Orgeron. Is there a second?
No second.
Second by Mr. Waggerspack. Is there any discussion? Any objection?
I have a question.
Question, Mr. Waggerspack.
Hey, Gavin, this is just a yearly report that you guys prepare for DEQ, or is this a?
Yeah, this is a standard report that we have to turn in every year. We did them. Last year was actually our first year. We did it when we renewed our contract on Silver Oaks. It's any facility over 100,000 gallons, I believe. We're required to just basically summarize the data from our yearly tests that we get from them, and we have to turn it in, and we have to have it approved through council in order to make it an official document to be able to turn it.
Okay, I should have asked that on the first one, by the way. And I was thinking about it earlier when I read it, so I wanted to make sure we covered it for the public. So we're essentially just authorizing that it's an official document from the wastewater department to DEQ?
Correct. And it's basically a compilation of all the data that Curtis has collected throughout the year. And these systems require a flow meter, which, we have to pull the data from and have it calibrated every year. So that way it's the data is all correct.
Right. So I would assume that DEQ, they review this and tell us if there's any problems with it.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Waggerspack. There was a motion by Mr. Orgeron, second by Mr. Waggerspack, and this motion passed. C. Thank you. We have D, approval of change order number 6 for CDBG project extension of contract for 83 days and increased amount by $37,254.42. Galvin Fleming.
All right, so this is the project that we have out in the Hillaryville, Darrow area. The project's been ongoing for quite a while. Obviously, it fell in the midst of COVID, not just the first round, but the second round that we've been through. In this change order, there is extension of time. There is also a change order. Part of this stuff that was installed and designed, there was excessive settling in the wells. So we had to go in and shore up those services so that way the design will work as intended for the project.
Is there a motion?
I was going to ask a question.
Question by Mr. Waggerspack.
This is, again, this is grant money, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So this is not coming out of any budget that we've already approved and take a budget.
No. So this one, it's, I want to say we had 5.4 in grant, and then we had to put up $2 million, $2.5 million. The numbers escape me at the moment. But, we're still within the budget for the project. In order for us to get a system that actually works, we have to make sure that, some of this additional gets repaired.
Motion.
There's a motion Is there a second? Is there a second? There's no second. This motion fails. Corey, would you mind reading E?
Yeah, Coach. This was an item that was added to the agenda after the original agenda was sent out. It's the approval to renew a contract with Curtis Environmental Services, Inc. for a not to exceed amount of $70,000 for sampling, testing, and reporting for LPDES permit compliance of all Ascension Consolidated Utility District Number 2 sanitary facilities owned by Ascension Parish. Gavin Fleming to provide us an explanation.
So this is our yearly contract that we have with them where they, in order for us to comply with DEQ regulations, we have to submit sampling every month for our plants based on what their permits say. Most of them require monthly. Some of them require quarterly. With the number of plants we have, this amount allows us to be able to do all that testing. And also, there are times where we have to figure in resampling just in case we have a bad fecal or a test that we can have redone during that week. It's simply our compliance with our DEQ regulations on it. It tests for BOD, TSS, fecal coliforms, pH, ammonia, and dissolved oxygen.
Is there a motion? There's no motion. Then E fails for lack of a motion. Number 8, adjournment.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn by Corey, second by Second by Mr. Waggersback to adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Recording stop.